Fractions Part 3. And your bottom line should look like this. The first one, of course, is 2/5 to the power of 3, which means 2/5 times itself 3 times. That's what cubing is, 2/5 cubed. And multiplying across the top, 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8. 5 times 5 is 25, 25 times 5 is 125. Right, next one. Looks complicated, but actually it's very simple. We want the square root of 1/3 squared. Now you might know that square rooting a square will actually undo both operations, and we should be left with 1/3. For some proof of this, if we work out underneath the square root first, so we want 1/3 times itself, that's what squaring means, 1/3 squared, which will give us the square root of 1/9. 1 times 1 is 1, 3 times 3 is 9. Now we know that when you square root a fraction, you can square root the top line, square root the denominator. Square root of 1 is 1, and the square root of 9 is 3. So in fact we're back to the third. So square rooting a square cancels out both operations, they're inverse operations, and you get left with the original number. Right, 1/16 to the power of a half. Now I think we've already mentioned in part 2 that raising anything to the power of a half is exactly the same as square rooting. That's what another way of writing square root is, to raise a number to the power of a half. In square rooting fractions, it's enough to square root the numerator and the denominator separately. Square root of 1 is 1, and the square root of 16 is 4. And last one, similar, we notice the power of a half, which means to find the square root of 9 over 16. Square root of 9 over the square root of 16, we can do them individually, and we get 3 over 4.